Well, happy Canada Day. I always say happy Monday, but it is an extra happy Monday because it's Canada Day, celebrating 152 years. I hope you've been able to get out so far today and enjoy this. Boy, I've been busy. Of course, earlier this morning, broadcasting the Canada Day Parade. Fantastic as always. And thousands of people out there to watch. And things continuing on down at the park while we're here doing this. So I don't know if you're watching live. If you're watching live, fantastic. Appreciate you being here. And I think, yes, no tie. I just thought, you know what? I'm really busy today. I'm moving all over the place. And I thought it'd be okay as long as I wear something red and suitable. So that's why we're just taking it easy today and celebrating. Happy Canada Day, everybody. 152 years old today. And I'm very fortunate to still have some people that are going to be joining me here today for this broadcast. So here we go. First, though, I want to talk about some things that happened over the weekend. I was doing karaoke down at the Lake Point Grill House and Lounge, as I have once before already. Great place in there. The food is delicious. The staff is fun and good service. So if you haven't been down there yet, they're the old Chippewa on North Christina Street. They are having a barbecue today, from what I understand. The barbecue's outside, and it's just down the street from the park. So if you do get hungry, take the kids down there as well. They've got lots of room, and they've got some local craft beers on tap there as well for you craft beer drinkers. So get down there, say hello to our friends at Lake Point Grill House and Lounge. Tell them you saw it here, and we'll let you know the next time we're going to be back there for some karaoke. Coming up this week, something new that's happening out in Brights Grove I want to remind you about as well. The Brights Grove Market, local music, local food, local, out in Brights Grove at Kenwick on the Lake out there. Beautiful spot. And there's a social aspect to all this as well. So if you're out that way, get out and support. If you're in Sarnia, it only takes 10 minutes to drive there. And it'd be a little bit of change of scenery, right? Eve Morgan was on here a few weeks ago talking about that. We're going to keep promoting it on here to help her out. And hopefully you'll take the time to get out to the Brights Grove Market. Yeah, I am gonna push through this pretty fast today so we can get to our guests, and then get back to. I got to be back down at Centennial Park later on today for the bands. Speaking of music, live entertainment every Wednesday down at Village Gardens starts at 9:00 for open mic, and my friend Doug Ferguson is your host down there. And I haven't been in a couple of weeks. Sorry, Doug. I will get back there. I'm planning this week, just a heads up. He's saying thanks for the warning. And bring your guitars down. Have some fun. If you don't have a guitar, Doug knows lots of songs. He'll probably play it for you. Once again, down Village Garden over here on East Street, open mic night every Wednesday, 9:00. Excited for this again. Banger in the Hangar is coming back to Sarnia Airport. That's why they're calling it that, right? Bluewater Boxing Club hosting this time boxers all the way from Scotland. Some major bouts going to be happening. Caitlin Clark will be joining us. She was on the show, or she will be boxing, sorry. She joined us on the show a few weeks ago, and she's a champ, and she's looking to get back in the ring again, as many other locals fighting Scotland. We'll be live streaming it as well, but there's nothing better than being there in person. And the live stream, it's pay-per-view. It's not a freebie. So if you really want the action, get your tickets. Just head on over to Bluewater Boxing Club on Facebook. They'll have the tickets for you. I'm really excited for that one for sure. Of course, we keep talking about the tall ships. It is official. The Parade of Sails will happen, and I'm going to be on the Blue Nose too, broadcasting live from the Blue Nose. So that's exciting. And I'm going to have some tickets to give away for stuff. But don't wait for me. Go buy your tickets before they're gone. There's going to be like 30,000 people attending this event. And not just this event. It will be Artscape along with Bluewater Borderfest. Mark Perrin's going to join us here at the latter part of the show to talk to us more about what's happening, and you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So go to Tall Ships Celebration on Facebook. You can get the website there to go online to ticketscene.ca to get your tickets. This is amazing. It doesn't happen that often. It's been here once before, I think, a few years back. What a great way to showcase Sarnia Lambton Tall Ships. My friend Graham Holmes here. This is going to be awesome as well. A tribute to Summer. In fact, it's the Mick Jackson Asante a tribute to Summer. He came along board as a sponsor. That's going to be happening on July 13th out at Valley Axe, Full Petty Fever. These guys are awesome. Seen them here before. If you haven't and you're a big Petty fan, you're going to want to get out there and join that. And Metallica fans, Sandman will be there as well. And there's a volleyball tournament going on, and it's all to support Empower Play. Get a hold of Empower Play Inc. on Facebook or reach out to Graham Holmes to get your tickets in advance for this great event that is going to support Empower Play, which supports those with financial barriers who would like to get into sports. And Graham Holmes works really hard about making sure that happens. They got an exchange program, etc. And it's just going to be a good concert out there as well. So even if you don't play volleyball, you don't have to. I know he's still looking for some teams, but you can get out there and enjoy the concert fun out at Valley Axe again. That's on July the 13th. All right. Well, there's a lot of festivals. This show is definitely about festivals. And I know Rib Fest is happened last week and stuff, but there is this vegan community that's happening out there. And last year we had Tosha Lobsinger join us to talk about Vegfest. This is its third year now. Very excited for her because she's putting this all together. She's got a great team supporting her, and we caught up with Tosha a little bit earlier. And here's the interview. We're going to take you to that right now. Take a look. Well, this week on the show, I don't get to see this lady often enough because she's so busy doing what she's passionate about. She only gets to Sarnia once in a while, but she's coming back for the third year of Sarnia Vegfest. That's right. If you haven't experienced Vegfest yet, I'll tell you, I have so far, and delicious, regardless of what you might be thinking right now. Tosha Lobsinger, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Dave. It's so awesome. You've been such a great support of the festival since day one. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's exciting for you, I know, because you started this thing, right? And I know you took a lot of risks. Is this thing going to work? And but you had a lot of support around you, and
absolutely,
and the community really came together. Mother Nature has really helped too.
Yeah, Mother Nature's been great. I think it's karma, but
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens this year.
So so Vegfest, I think a lot of times, and I think I told you my first thing was like, oh, how's this food going to taste, right? That's usually the first thing, and I hear other people say that, but wow, like I had what was like a Big Mac, but not.
Yeah, you and I have shared some awesome vegan food together at the festival.
Yeah.
Big Macs, chicken burgers, tacos.
And honestly, I remember my first time. You had me eat that, and I was skeptical. But after I did that, I think if you'd have told me, "Oh, here, have a Big Mac," and I wouldn't have known the difference. In fact,
yeah,
it was better.
The food has come a long way. A lot of the replications, the vegan versions, taste just like the actual product. Like we've got Beyond Burgers and Tim Hortons and A&W now, which is amazing. And I can't tell the difference. A lot of people think it tastes just the same. Yeah. So it's awesome. The food is great.
So besides the obvious health reasons for this, why else is this important to you?
Yeah, well, animal agriculture is the leading cause of species extinction, ocean dead zones, deforestation, water and air pollution. So really, it's an industry that's just destroying our planet. We've got scientists now giving us 30 years until the end of life on Earth. Wow. We've got estimates to have more plastic in the ocean by 2050, and that's a whole another issue. But Sarnia Vegfest is really focusing on plastic waste, being plastic free and single-use packaging as well. Yeah, and then on top of the health and the environmental aspect, there's the ethical side too, right? There's animals that, just like our cats and dogs, feel pain. They have personalities. Chickens purr like cats, cows cuddle, and they're soft and gentle giants, just like big puppy dogs. And they all feel pain, and they all want to live, and they all have the natural desire to be with their families.
Right.
So by choosing these awesome vegan alternatives to all of our favorite foods, we can avoid all of those problems. Now,
this is certainly a topic that I'm sure you've debated with many.
Oh, yeah. Every day. All day, every day.
Because I think the first thing that comes to mind, like I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm vegan, but I'm not closed-minded to it either. I don't just support anything, I support what I think is a positive thing.
Yeah.
But I think one of the first things you probably hear is, yeah, but it's the circle of life.
Yeah, I've heard that one. There's a lot of kind of, I wouldn't say arguments, but talking points around that one.
Yeah.
So for instance, like we aren't born with the kind of instinct to like chase after an animal the way a lion would.
Right.
We don't have that. We don't see a squirrel or a chicken or a cow and just run after it and bite into it with our teeth. We don't have the claws. We don't have the fangs. So if we're talking nature, circle of life, I mean, for us, that includes kind of picking apples off a tree and, plant foods.
Right.
And then there's other animals that do have the actual physical, biological need and instinct to kill and eat animals. Right.
And what about the argument that being vegan costs more? It's more expensive this way.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, A&W and Tim Hortons have got the vegan options. They're the same price. Actually, A&W has been great. And I hope we get a chance to talk about some of the actual vendors that are coming to Sarnia Vegfest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too. I'm bringing these up because it's awesome that they're so widespread and mainstream and reaching people at affordable prices. A&W has been great having like half off Beyond Burgers. So they're like $3.50, $4 for like a vegan burger that tastes and fills you up just as much as the non-vegan version. So yeah, there's a lot of affordable options out there these days. Rice, beans, tofu, these are some of the cheapest, most affordable, most abundant foods in the world that also end up being the healthiest. So yeah, meat's one of the most expensive things that you can buy. And then if you think about the actual added costs that don't appear on the price tag, like the environmental costs, and then what that does to our taxes and all the issues that it's causing, the health problems, the cost is actually greater. You just don't see it the moment you're buying that product.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right. Well, interesting background there on that. And we could probably do a whole hour show on all of that.
Let's do it.
And I'm happy to do that.
Okay. Another time.
Another time for sure. Let's talk about the vendors that are coming. And I do want to talk about the plastic thing as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
But let's talk about the vendors that are coming, because I know the first 2 years I was there, it's like, wow, this is like, what have you got, 25, 30 vendors coming?
I think we've consistently had around 30, 35 vendors. Yeah.
And that's fantastic because
and
they're not just from Sarnia, they're traveling a bit to come to this, right?
We're expanding quite a bit. The first year, I think our furthest vendor was from Toronto. Nice. Last year last year we had someone from the Georgian Bay, and this year we've got a couple of vendors coming all the way from Ottawa as well. So yeah, it is expanding. We've got a lot of great variety of food and vegan lifestyle brands coming. Some of the exciting new ones, Wuxley Movement. So they make vegan winter jackets. It's kind of the wrong season for it, but they're like really warm parkas, and they're not made with any animal products. So they're a really cool brand that's coming. And then really awesome treats from Ottawa, a company called Little Joe Berries. I was just there last week, actually. They're delicious. So super fun. And then we've got, the classics, like we talked about, the vegan Big Mac. So that's globally local from London.
Right.
And our awesome sponsors as well. Everyone knows Green's Organic Cafe, beautiful little awesome vegan place in the heart of downtown Sarnia. Kombucha Hound, which is another amazing, successful business, taking off and really easy to find all around Sarnia nowadays.
Yeah.
Boombox Bake Shop, who makes cupcakes, like their famous cupcakes, and birthday cakes. And they'll be there as well. And then Peace People Project Apparel too. Yeah,
well, that's quite a lineup of
many others
coming. Yeah, and a whole bunch more. I know, and there was a lot of people from Sarnia at these events. Have been successful.
It's actually been a really good turnout both years.
And I've seen people that I would have went, well, I never would have expected to see you.
Exactly.
Here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think with the live music and the location being in the park by the beach and having activities for kids like the bouncy castle and the book readings. I think it's hopefully a welcoming atmosphere for everyone. And that's the goal as well. Like just to make it kind of a welcoming and fun, positive environment for people to come out and try these foods and listen to some talks and get to learn about why so many people are choosing to live vegan.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that too, because it's not all just about the food and that. I know you have guest speakers there.
Yeah.
Talking about different things. What kind of topics and who are we going to see this year?
Yeah, so this year we've got coming from Windsor, the Fairly Local Vegan, and she's a mother. She's got a vegan family, so she's going to talk about raising vegan kids and having a vegan family, and she's zero waste as well, which is amazing. So plastic-free, package-free, and how you can tackle all of these issues with a family. So that's really exciting. We've got Erin Janis coming. I don't know if you've seen or heard of the film Dairy is Scary.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it went viral. Like it's gone all around the world. It's on billboards now. It's like a 5-minute, really fast informational video that she did about the dairy industry.
Okay.
I would highly recommend watching it because it's very engaging and packed with really powerful information. And she's going to be coming to talk about the dairy industry as well. So she'll be there. We've got Yoda's Kitchen coming from London. She's an amazing chef. She'll be talking about actually as well food waste and how to turn veggie scraps into vegan pho. Is that how you say it? F-H-O, pho. I think it is.
Vegan pho?
Pho or pho, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. That food. So she'll be demonstrating how to make that from veggie scraps. So tackling food waste as well and turning it into pho. And then if you bring your own containers, you can try it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll be doing a zero waste vegan workshop as well.
Wow. It's going to be busy.
Yeah.
And this is just
great.
one day?
Yeah, it's one day.
You're going to have to turn this into 2 days pretty soon.
Well, it kind of is 2 days because we have the vegan sunset cruise the next day as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On the Duke d'Orleans.
You know it.
Yeah, I was there the first year. That was a lot of fun.
I know. We missed you last year.
Yeah, well, I can't be everywhere. I wanted to be there. I'll try to get there this year for sure.
Awesome. We'd love to have you.
I think what you're doing is really it's unique for one. And it seems to be growing in different communities as well. And I guess really Vegfest and vegan is its own community of people, right?
Yeah, totally. It's a large and ever growing community all over the world. Like I live in Vancouver now and the community is strong there. I'm in Toronto right now. And this morning I was just with Toronto Cow Save and the community is strong here as well. Everywhere I go, I try to meet up with the community and it's just lovely people and everyone just trying to work together to do whatever they can to make the world a better place.
Yeah. What about makeup?
Makeup,
right?
yeah.
Because there's one. I mean, you're wearing some lipstick today.
Yes, I am.
I'm guessing it's a special kind.
Yeah. So I use a company called Elate. Okay. What I love about them is that they use bamboo packaging and then there's like just inserts. So it's fully kind of very little waste. It's just a magnetic insert of the actual like foundation or, the lipstick comes in compostable bamboo packaging. And then obviously all the ingredients are vegan. So no animal parts and then no testing on animals as well. That's a huge issue with the cosmetic industry. So
right. So when you go shopping, as a woman who probably loves to shop,
I don't actually.
You don't?
No.
You're the rare kind.
I like thrift shopping.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But when you go shopping, then you're obviously as obviously with food, but I mean everything else you buy. I'm assuming the clothes you wear, to like you're 100%, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. There's no need to buy anything with animal products. There's vegan versions that are out there. They're just as great when it comes to, makeup, clothing, food, entertainment. You don't need to go to the zoo to learn about animals. There's plenty of alternatives of fun things you can do and great products you can buy and live a happy, healthy life without the need to hurt animals.
Right. So is it difficult to do that, or is it just something you have to learn, or like does it take extra time to seek out these things? Yeah,
I think with any change, lifestyle change, they say it takes 21 days to make a habit or change a habit. Yeah. So I think with any kind of change that you're facing or striving for, you do need that transition period of learning, like, okay, where are you getting this product that replaces this product that you're used to? What new store are you going to go to instead of the one you're used to? But we are so lucky that we have access to so much information. For instance, if you want to learn about veganism in Sarnia, join Vegans of Sarnia Lambton. There's, I think, 800 people in that group now. Oh, wow. And you can ask where do I get this? And then a bunch of people will tell you. So it's that easy now.
That's fantastic, because I think that, you're right. Access to information used properly, right, is a great tool, and
exactly,
because I would think that would be and I've talked about that with my wife. So I don't know where to go, and but then we honestly didn't put a lot of effort into it after maybe tried it or whatever. And you can feed me all these delicious things, but well, try a 22-day challenge. There's a website called Challenge 22. Okay.
And you get mentors, you get recipes, you get full support. And as I said, it's all based on the concept that it takes 21 days to change a habit. So it's like committing to 22 days of vegan instead of your whole life, which seems way easier, right? And then in that time, you're going to find solutions to all of the barriers that are like not just in your head, but real barriers. And then by the end, you'll be probably set up to keep doing it. And the great thing about, veganism is that most people want to help. So if you don't feel comfortable joining Vegans of Sarnia Lambton and asking your question publicly, if you have a friend who's vegan, they're probably like very excited for you to message them and ask them questions. And they want to support you, and they want to help you. So it's pretty easy, I think, to find support. I mean, any of you are welcome to message me on Sarnia Vegfest, Facebook or Instagram, or Peace People Project, Facebook or Instagram, or my personal page, whatever.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Well, and Vegfest coming up this week, July 7th, right, on the Sunday?
Yes,
and
Sunday, July 7th.
That's what time does it start in the morning?
So it starts at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And then it ends at 5 p.m. And there's a full schedule of speakers, musicians, book readings, and the full vendor list is on our website, sarniavegfest.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tasha, it's so nice to talk with you again, and I look forward to getting down there. And what a great opportunity. If you want to learn more about veganism, folks, get down to Vegfest.
See you there.
Down to the park. I will be down there for sure. Thanks again, Tasha. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dave. See you there.
All right, everybody. Once again, Vegfest coming here to Sarnia. Stay tuned. We're going to give you more information on that. Tosha Lobsinger joining me there earlier this week. And thank you so much, Tasha, she's busy and she travels a lot, and she's going to be making her way down here. It's this Sunday. I like doing that. July 7th down at Canatara Park. It's the third year for it. If you've not been, and listen, I mentioned in that interview that I remember, thinking, that this food isn't going to taste good and whatever. I'm not kidding. We had burgers that were delicious. We had chicken burgers, vegan hot dogs. Give it a shot. Just go on down there. It's free to go to. Lots of vendors to check things out, and supporting local as well. So thank you so much, Tasha. I'm looking forward to get down there and seeing you. All right. Well, now moving on from Vegfest, today, of course, being Canada Day, and we'll say Happy Canada Day to everybody once again. 2019, 152 years. Lots of festivals always happening here, and we love the long weekends. This turned out to be a good long weekend. The next long weekend coming up in August is Captain Kid Days, and they've got some announcements of music that they've put out, and we're going to talk some more about that coming up here in just a moment, because we connected with our friend Geoff Dale earlier this week as well for Captain Kid Days coming up the August long weekend. Let's go to that interview right now and find out what's happening. Well, we said this show is going to be about music and festivals, and this the second part today on the show. Something we're proud to be a part of every year, Captain Kid Days, happening out in Corunna, the next long weekend that will come after this weekend. Geoff Dale joining us. How you doing, Geoff?
Not bad. You, Dave?
I'm always doing good. I'm a busy man today, I'll tell you that for sure. But Captain Kid Days.
You're always busy.
Yeah, well, the internet makes it easy for me. Captain Kid Days always works really hard to keep adding. It seems like it grows every year, or maybe some things are replaced, but it always seems to be fresh every year.
Yep. We always try to keep things fresh, tweak things a little bit. We're at the point where we're happy with the content of the weekend, but we always want to keep things fresh. Keep things new for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about the history of Captain Kid Days? How many years is it now?
This is year 34.
That's
so
amazing.
It started in the mid 80s in Corunna with it was actually the Business Improvement Association started it as a way to make money and get everyone downtown in Corunna, and we've kind of evolved from that. So yeah. So,
and this is to support sports or just community or what
it's a community event. Money raised does go to local sports teams, the Flags, Corunna Minor Baseball, Moortown Hockey. In the last couple of years, we've been able to also give to the Sarnia Humane Society, Rebound, St. Clair Child and Youth, and CMHA too. So we're definitely, and then the Lady Flags, which is brand new, an offshoot of Moortown Flags. The girls team went out on their own last year, so we were able to give them some money last year, and will be as well this year. So
fantastic. I noticed a bit of a theme in there. We're talking St. Clair Child and Youth and CMHA. And there's some of the there's sporting events that happen. There's a lot leading up to this, but mental health seems to be something that Captain Kid Days is supporting.
Yeah, it's affected our community and our committee and board a fair bit. So 3 years ago, we wanted to, rather than just talk about something, we wanted to actually do something. And we felt there was a gap there for the teenage, the 10 to 18, 8 to 18 range. That really, we're at the tail end of the Kid Zone stuff. So we put together the stand-up ball hockey tournament where we partnered with several local associations and groups that have resources that we wouldn't have had for mental health support.
Yeah. And it's certainly, it's nice to see that addressed because you and I know it does affect all of us, whether directly or indirectly. And it's obviously had a good response.
Yes, definitely a good response. It's grown each year. And again, this year we're looking to grow it again. So it's, so.
You can't go anywhere in Corunna on this long weekend of Captain Kid Day. Like, this entire community is involved in this. Yes.
It's very, to use a bad word, maybe enveloping of the community. I mean, we've got our local restaurants as large suppliers for us, and that's huge for us as well, because it's a weekend that they may not be as busy because everybody's at the park, and shows a support like that from the community. And I mean, if you take a look at our poster, I mean, we've been very spoiled that we continually have to make the sponsors portion of the poster bigger because we're getting more and more sponsors. So we've been spoiled by our community that definitely supports us 100%.
And not just any sponsors, like some major sponsors involved in there as well, right?
Yep, we've Shell is once again our presenting title sponsor. Danbury Homes, Lamsar, Riverview Family Dental, Main Street sponsoring our movie night again. Lamsar, A&J, Antonio's Bad Dog. I mean, I could do this entire interview listing everybody. The local unions have stepped up the last couple of years. 1256, 663. Like, it's been very good. Crime Stoppers as well as they're setting up their tent. Nice. They've given us some money, but they're also setting up a tent for us. For like a first aid type station. Okay. And then also doing the parade for us. So it's been good. Yeah.
Very, very overwhelming for sure. And,
yes.
But all positive, which is great. You mentioned the parade in there. I mean, that's kind of the kickoff to all of this, is it?
Well, it's not really the kickoff. The kickoff is the Thursday night movie, and then Friday night we have the Captain Kid Ambassador, which I'll touch on later. But the parade is Saturday morning at 11 a.m. We are looking at tweaking the route slightly this year to just make it a little shorter for the people, just because it gets warm, but for everybody, and people tend to congregate in a couple different areas. So, but again, the parade route map is on our poster again, and all over our social media, that type of thing.
Let's talk about let's go back to the movie. Is this was something you added in just the past few years, another night?
This will be our 4th year, I believe, partnering with Main Street. They came to us 4 years ago and said, we really want to do something, and a kickoff. So we've created a separate night, non-licensed. We want to make it basically all of it, come out with the family. So Roundhouse will be entertaining us. We'll have our full stage set up, and we'll have some mascots there as well. I'm not sure if I can say who they are yet, but maybe just watch our social media for that type of thing. There'll be 4 or 5 kid style mascots that people will want to see. And then our movie this year is going to be The Mighty Ducks. So last year we wanted to do something a little different. There's a lot of movie nights, as you know, and we wanted to do something that maybe you wouldn't see at one that's 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. So last year we did The Sandlot, and got a lot of parents that really gave us good feedback of that, and so we're continuing that with The Mighty Ducks. So.
Well, that's kind of it's a good choice. Even The Sandlot last year, that was a good choice because you've got the kids coming out, like you and I have kids, but I mean mine are bigger. Like I was probably a teenager when I watched The Sandlot, so it gets the kids out, and then it gets mom and dad coming out going, I am.
No, we're definitely trying the nostalgic feel for everybody, and I mean, a lot of the movies out right now are remakes of the movies from the 90s anyways, but no kidding. The Mighty Ducks, it just seemed right. And again, with the focus on sports and that type of thing, with the event and active and that type of stuff, we felt it was a good fit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that'll bring back some memories for me once. I know I'll be out there watching that too.
You're going to try the flying V setup?
Well, we'll see. I don't know if that could be painful these days. You never know. But that's great, Mighty Ducks, and come out there. And these events during the day, you got the parade, and you've got the movie that's obviously sponsored by Main Street. But moving into the weekend, there's lots of activities for the kids. Is this all free?
The movie night is free, save for if you wanted to buy pop or something like that.
Right,
so admission is free, popcorn's free, that type of thing. All the cost is all covered by Main Street. Our kids zone, we don't make money off of it. We charge a minor amount. We charge $4 per kid, or $10 for a family of 3 or more.
Right.
We've had a lot of input that's the way people prefer it, as versus a large carnival type thing where you're dropping $100 a kid or $50 a kid or whatever pretty quick. So what we've done is we've tried to keep things reasonable for everybody, and with Danbury stepping up again to sponsor it, that allows us to offset that cost, right? So
And there's some of these kid zone things have are little swimming pools or stuff. Or is that
we got the paddle boats. We got a paddle boat pool, so it's about a 30 by 15 or so pool. It's got about 6 inches of water that the kids can use little paddle boats with.
Nice.
We're keeping our rock wall. We keep the paddle boats and the rock wall always have our longest lineups, but and we've gone back to the large inflatables as well, so that'll be, and we have an extra one coming this year. So
now you mentioned an ambassador pageant as well.
Yes, and actually, quickly before
Sure.
we get into that, we have a Little Tracks petting zoo coming.
Oh.
That's a cool new thing for this year. So it's different animals. Check them out on Facebook or social media, whatever people use, and that'll be a cool, different thing that we think will be good. Again, educational with the different animals. They bring that type of stuff. So. Heaven's Care Wildlife out of Oil Springs, she'll be there as well, or Heaven's Rescue.
They were there last year, right?
It was Little Race there last year.
Or Little Race, yeah. That's always really cool because the kids get right up close and they get to touch the animal and.
So with the petting zoo, they can actually do that all afternoon. So they're coming set up for 3 hours rather than a single hour show. So we think that might be a little more interactive for the kids. Again, trying to keep it fresh and different for this year. So the ambassador, that's it used to be called Miss Teen Corunna in Miss Corunna. Last year we changed the name of it to Captain Kid Ambassador, just trying to be a more inclusive. We'd had requests from male contestants as well, so we've opened it up to all genders last year and this year, and all age groups, so 18 and below. So even the little ones. So. And Lapierre's Flowers and Evolution Hair Studio look after that for us because that's not a gig I know a whole lot about. But,
there you go. But, me neither.
But they do, and they look after the contestants pretty well. So we've switched it from a pageanty type style. If the contestant still wants to do that. That's great, but we, do whatever you prefer, right? And trying to make it more of a role within the community. We've, be an ambassador for St. Clair Township and Corunna, right? So
there's some responsibility that goes along with
there is some responsibility.
And that's great.
Yeah. So
fantastic. Now, boy, how do you guys put this all together? We're talking about a lot here. This is a really busy weekend, and it's not just for the little kids.
No,
it's for the big kids too.
Yep. We've got two other tournaments going on for the big kids. We got the volleyball and the 2-pitch, as we do. The volleyball supports the Humane Society again this year. Yeah. And at night, our entertainment is Friday night. We have Highway Jones kicking it off.
Nice.
Then Downriver Band, who just won a Battle of the Bands in Toronto. They finished first in that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Local guys, so they're playing second, and then a band called Neon Nostalgic, who. Is the singer's Sean Brady, and they come and they do a video screen as they're playing, and it's an incredible cover band, one of the best bands I've seen.
Yeah, and it's very interactive. I know you and I met the other day. You were showing me some video. It's pretty exciting, folks. You definitely want to check that out.
Yeah. We'll be posting a teaser on our social media in the coming week or so with his promo video. But it's pretty cool. It's something we haven't had before again, and to switch it up a bit, we're pretty stoked for that. And Saturday we have Upside and Maybe from Stratford. They played for us last year. They're an amazing band, great vibe. Song Machine and Dave Russell and the Precious Stones are coming back again.
Wow.
And then Sunday, Roundhouse is going to play for us again. And Matt Runaway, he's a country singer that we've been trying to get for a couple of years. And then Scott Mannery and the Barn Burners are going to close us off. So.
Oh, those guys, boy. Yeah. So we'll be there till 4 a.m.
Yeah, they may still be playing when we're tearing down on Monday. I don't know.
Scott, you got to pull the plug on him sometimes. As much as we love him, it's like, okay, I really got to go, Scott. And he's like, well, you just go home, and I'll just stay here, and I'll just
stay here, keep playing. Yeah, we love those guys. So.
Oh yeah, and they put on a fantastic show,
it's a lot of fun and gets people who may or may not be tired after the weekend going for one more night.
Yeah. So. One thing I notice every year, Geoff, and I know this is something Captain Kid Days has worked hard to create. There's really a positive atmosphere. I mean, even at nighttime, big kids are having a couple of beers, whatever. But there's really, it's just a general fun. It's not, there's no real concerns, I guess, going on. Everybody kind of knows each other and hangs with each other. It's a good positive vibe up there.
Well, we appreciate that people are noticing that. We've tried very hard to create that atmosphere. So it's appreciated that people notice that and they're saying that. So
yeah, and we're doing the talent show on the Sunday. We're going to do that again.
Yes,
right.
Yes, yep. We're doing that on the Sunday afternoon, and I believe we'll be doing the open mic after as well for those that. Want to keep going, and again, that's starting to become a staple of our event. And if we want people to be coming out and performing on our stage in a couple years, or even that year. I mean, last year we had a couple of the contestants in that come and play on the Sunday night for us, and it's we can't, we got to nurture that side and make sure that the contestants for that the kids have somewhere, an outlet to get used to playing on a stage.
Well, and it's worked because Noah Leonard, as you know, he just won an award for forgive me if I get it wrong, the County Music Festival or
it was a provincial award.
Provincial, right? Yeah,
that he won. It's big time.
Absolutely.
And I mean, he's hopefully we'll get him again this year. And the good thing with Noah is you don't have to ask him very hard sometimes to perform. And
you just got to say, "Can you?" And he'll go, "Yep," before you finish asking.
But I mean, him and I forget the girl that always sings with him,
Carissa.
They're expanding into the theater troops and that type of stuff, and really honing their craft. And 3-4 years ago when we first started, I like to think that this gave him some practice for that type of thing, right? And even Ian Linton and Trevor Wagner and guys like that who are just starting to get used are now getting gigs everywhere.
Sign these guys up, get their autographs.
Sign them up, yeah. So that's it shows us that the talent shows like that are important for these guys.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to it. There's certainly lots going on, and then of course there'll be some fireworks in there to interrupt Scott Maneri, but then you give him another chance to come back. Oh yeah, there he is.
We get phone just rang. It was one of the it was
didn't put that do not disturb. That's okay. We're about done with you anyway, Geoff. But thanks so much. I know you're taking time from the office there to spend time with us and talk about this, and looking forward to being a part of Captain Kid Days again. And happy Canada Day, by the way.
Happy Canada Day to you as well.
All right.
It's also known in my world as Free Agent Day with the NHL. So.
Yes, right. Okay. All right, Geoff Dale. He's a busy guy as well, and he's an NHL fan, obviously. Geoff Dale, thanks so much for joining me here earlier this week. He's a busy guy, getting ready as well for Captain Kid Days. It is happening August 1st through the 4th. You mentioned it there as well. Main Street Credit is going to help kick things off on the Thursday night. They are the movie sponsor. There'll be free popcorn there, but there will be pop and other things there that you can purchase to enjoy the movie along with. Family friendly. Roundhouse is going to be there to kick things off as well. and just a great event. I'm going to be there all weekend for this one. I'll be the MC for the bands. I'll be live streaming and keeping you informed of what's happening. But the best way to know is to just mark it on your calendar and get out there. I will also be posting coming up soon, later this week, I should say, how you can sign up for the Youth Talent Showcase. If you know somebody 18 years or younger that just likes to show off and sing, get them signed up. We've got some prizes and fun with that as well. Just a full weekend of fun entertainment. It's Captain Kid Days out in Corunna, August 1st to the 4th. Looking forward to being a part of that. Whew. It's busy around here for Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, 152 years old. Wow. And we are talking about music festivals here today. And the next one, this is a big one for sure, coming up the week after Captain Kid Days, Bluewater Borderfest. And we had Mark Perrin on here about a month ago talking to us. And there's some more announcements out there. And he's got a special announcement for you. And we're going to do that right now. Let's go talk to Mark Perrin from Bluewater Borderfest. Well, it's festival season for sure. And this one in particular, we've been talking about a lot here on the show. And he's a busy guy, but we're excited to, I think he's coming to us live from his backyard from Bluewater Borderfest. Mark Perrin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Dave. How about yourself?
Oh, well, busy. And like we said, 'tis the season for festivals. At least this show is showing that here anyway. And this is exciting. A third year for Borderfest and some big names coming along. And I know you've got a good team supporting you there.
Absolutely. No, it's been a bit of a long journey to get the lineup complete this year, but we're really excited that all 4 nights have came together, and I think we got something for everyone as far as country and rock and classic rock, and lots going on, lots of big names coming to Sarnia, and we can't wait. It's only 5-6 weeks away, and
yeah,
we're getting ready. But we finally brought summer with the announcement, so it's all
right.
together.
Mother Nature has shown up, so let's hope she sticks around through August, right?
Absolutely, no, for sure.
Here's a question. How many times a day when you're walking down the street before the announcements come out does somebody tug on you and say, come on, Mark, who's coming?
I would say definitely it's almost daily where you're like, well, and it gets to a point where you're kind of like, okay, well, we're announcing next week and here's who's coming, but don't leak it. So no, it's good. It's came together. Obviously with Big Rec, we waited a little bit to announce that one. To do it right and plan things with Canadian Cancer Society and respect the band's wishes and Brian as well. And yeah, we're excited that we're able to have them. It's going to be an emotional show this year with Big Rec in town, but I think it will be very soothing for everyone to enjoy and bring them back on the big stage in Sarnia.
Well, and let's talk about that Big Rec. And you mentioned the Cancer Society in there. I know, so there's something special happening with the price of the tickets as far as Big Rec is concerned.
There is. We work together with management to create a $2, I guess, from every ticket will go back, be donated to the Canadian Cancer Society in Brian's honor and name. So it's great doing that. And then we're also looking at how we can, we have the Canadian Cancer Society coming to actually be volunteers from the organization. We'll be taking tickets that night and also doing a 50-50 that night. So the funds raised from kind of everything incorporated. There's also talk of maybe some memorabilia from Big Rec as well and whatnot in a silent auction. We're waiting to see what comes together there. But the goal is to support Brian on raising money in his name and remembering what a great asset to the Sarnia Lambton music community he was, and really honor him with Big Rec playing.
And that's fantastic. And I'm glad the announcement was out because, I had to bite my tongue for a little while too. And I was happy to see when the teaser was, we have a big announcement coming, and Big Rec certainly is big for, especially, like I say, especially a special performance to this area. Moving forward onto that as well, I mean, some great names coming. You've got Dennis DeYoung, and we've got guys from Asia, and Night Ranger, Tokyo Police. I think it's pretty amazing that you have that. Lou Graham, and these guys are still rocking hard and giving her.
It is, and we got really fortunate. Kind of the first one that we nailed down, we had coming was the Rock Pack, which actually we were able to pull. Lou Graham wasn't originally scheduled, and we were able to switch things up and get Lou Graham in, and it's worked out really good. We're not 100% sure, but we've been told he's going to be done touring after this year, and right now we're his last date. It could be one or two more added still, so we're not kind of saying officially the last date, but definitely one of the last chances to see him perform will be Bluewater Borderfest. So that alone is exciting, obviously, with all the venues and shows he's played throughout his career. To be on one of the last ones is going to be a special night. And then bringing in John Payne of Asia and Kelly Kagi of Night Ranger. Those guys on Sunday will round things out, and they've done a few shows and selling out amphitheaters, and it's a great kind of. They do it. They actually part of their rider is bringing a bar up on stage, and they all tell stories why they sit at a bar and play all their classic hits, and it's a great performance for the night.
Well, it's certainly exciting to look forward to, and there's going to be a lot of rockers in the crowd. I mean, you and I were talking not too long ago about demographics of what's happened with Borderfest, and it'll definitely a rocking good time for sure. What's it like? I want people to understand a little bit too. We'll talk more about the artists in Borderfest, but I want people to understand the behind the scenes effort that goes on here, because you've done a great job at working as hard as you can to keep the price of the ticket at a fair price, but there are costs involved. There's stages, there's sound, there's all this other stuff, right? Has that been a learning curve for Borderfest to get through that?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Definitely one thing is trying to get more community support involved to help cover those costs. And then you have the artist fees and everything. A lot of people don't realize, they ask why it takes so long to book bands and announce, but we have to come up with 50% of any artist fee up front, which is always a bit of a challenge when you're starting from scratch each year. So it takes time, takes community support, and really we wait and see some of the grant announcements and other things to get things off and running. And we're fortunate just how things have came together. It's really planning and rolling out and investing each year and moving forward.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned those grants, and some of those grants took a little bit longer to be announced this year than they were in previous years. So you sort of had to wait. And it sounds like you're being summoned there. Are you? Is that the volunteer firemen kicking in there?
It is, but it's not us. So it's all right. I'm trying to shut it off here in the background. So
that's okay. That's okay. So, you're busy too. So, folks, Mark is also a fireman out in Corunna, and you're a dad and a husband, and you're part of Tourism Sarnia Lambton as well. The collaboration that's happening here between Artscape Borderfest and Tall Ships seems like it's become a good marriage to increase the value, between Tall Ships and Borderfest and Artscape. And it actually gave you a little bit of time at Borderfest, didn't it? Because it's a little bit later than normal.
Yeah, it has. It's actually worked out really well. Before actually taking the position with Tourism Sarnia Lambton, we talked with Rob and Rachel over at the City of Sarnia, and one of Tall Ships' requirements was having a music concert or performance as part of the Tall Ship bids. And they approached us to say, would we like to be that musical entertainment at night? And we didn't think about it too hard and said, absolutely. We have a great relationship with the city. And if we can help in Tall Ships and everything that it can bring to the community, let's do it. So it came together really nice. We get along really well. We share a lot of ideas and collaborations, and it's opened up everything from the Sarnia Battle of the Bands competition, where we offered the winners a spot to open up for Borderfest.
Yeah.
Just being creative on how we can work with as many members from the community, the city, and really show the partnerships and appreciation for what everyone does to put this thing together.
Yeah, well, and I like how you mentioned the local aspect there, because I know the Battle of the Bands that just happened recently, and allowing that band to be a part of Borderfest, it just seems like a really good marriage happening there between everybody, a good fit. And I guess timing's everything in all this too. And speaking of timing, let's talk about the country night. You kind of been waiting for to make some of those announcements as well. And just in the last, I guess within the last week there, you were able to put those announcements for country night. It
was, yeah. We ended up going with Tyler Farr and Jared Neiman, and we couldn't be happier how it ended up. We had a few other artists that we were looking at, but unfortunately we're radiused out from. We found out that this big event called Boots and Hearts for Country must be scared and have us on our radar, because they wouldn't let us have a couple artists that we were trying to get. Yeah, we said that's all right. We'll find a couple other guys that I think ended up actually being a better and stronger lineup with what we went with. So we're excited. The only one we wanted to bring home Eric Etheridge and have him play, but unfortunately couldn't make that work out with Boots and Hearts to get him here. But
that would have been fantastic.
Everything else, I think Tyler and Jared, they play for thousands and thousands each night, and have toured with. It's funny, Tyler Farr is coming off a tour with Jason Aldean and Luke Combs. So those are two of the biggest names in the business that he's performing with on a nightly basis. And to have him come to Sarnia is going to be outstanding. And it's funny, as soon as we announced, tickets have been going pretty quick for country night, and we expect to bring a lot of people from US as well as outside Sarnia Lambton into the city and enjoying the Thursday night show.
Fantastic. And of course, we don't want to forget Scott Maneri and the Barn Burners are going to be there as well. And you're going to have to keep your finger on the power switch, right, for Scott, because he'd play the whole night if you let him.
Absolutely.
Lots of high energy there.
Well, we're giving him a good time slot. Yeah, I think he's got 45 minutes or so to play a bunch of songs. So we made sure it wasn't a little half an hour one or anything. That he'll have a good chance to jam up on stage. And same thing, it's great to showcase any of our local talent when we have the chance. And really, the goal has been, how do we get a couple acts each night to get up there that are local guys, and those are hopefully the guys that we can help elevate their careers to get bigger and bigger. Right.
And did I see Rodney James and the Riot playing as well?
That's correct. Yeah, they'll be on stage on Friday night.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for your time. But before we go, we've got another couple minutes here. I just wanted to ask you, let's talk about that community support for a minute. A lot of sponsors coming on board to help make this possible. And I guess some that, maybe now being in the third year from the first year, some people were maybe watching and going, okay, I want to see if this thing works out.
Yeah, we're really excited. Everyone who's been on board from day one are still on board and going strong, and we're happy to add some new sponsors. So people from the Trans-Canada Corporation, Carpenters Union, Main Street Credit Union, I don't want to forget anyone. Sarnia RV's been huge. Nova Chemicals, I don't have the list in front of me, so you're putting me on the spot.
That's okay. We know there's a lot of major sponsors.
There's a lot of people helping out and putting this together, and really Cogeco's been great as well. And just without their support and jumping on board, we can't do this. So it's a huge thank you to those community sponsors, and definitely we hope to get more on board and really work with as many people to grow not only Borderfest but other community events and supporting organizations. That's pretty well the biggest reward that we have is getting to hand over some checks and support great organizations throughout the community, and keep things growing. That's the whole point, and really drive the economy here in Sarnia Lambton by having a major festival and putting Sarnia back on the map.
Fantastic. Well, it's been working so far, and I know it's just going to keep growing more and more. Well, happy Canada Day, everybody. We've got a special surprise for you as part of our Canada Day broadcast here today. Mark has promised you've got a pair of tickets that you're going to let us give away.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to leave it with you to see how you want to do a contest, and really excited to promote it. Yeah. Now the only thing is you got to beat last year's contest with the guests too, because I know people from the U.S. and it blew up with hundreds, if not thousands, of likes on your contest. So the challenge is to you to have it bigger than what it was last year.
Boy, talk about putting the pressure on. All right, I'll see what I can do. Thanks for the tickets, Mark, and thank you for you and to your team for all your hard work of making Borderfest a success that it's become so far.
Thanks for having us on, Dave. Appreciate everything you do and supporting, and save some of that voice, because you're going to be having to yell as the MC and getting the crowd all pumped up, and you'll be needing to rest up a bit. So don't be yelling too much yourself.
Okay, I'll go to bed early the night before, I promise.
So,
all right, Mark Perrin from Bluewater Borderfest joining us here, folks. Stay tuned. We've got a pair of tickets. Check out the Facebook page. And happy Canada Day. Be safe out there tonight. And let's go back to the studio, wrap things up. Mark Perrin has certainly worked hard, him and his team, is I should say, to keeping Borderfest alive, which is fantastic now in its third year. Great announcements there. Country night, rock weekend, and a very special performance as well coming from Big Wreck. Looking forward to that as well. As Mark mentioned there, I will be there all weekend. I'll be the MC for the event. And yes, I've got some tickets to give away. We've got 2 tickets we're going to give away for Country Night. So after this broadcast is over, make sure you check out the Facebook page, and you will have an opportunity for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Country Night. We might have some more surprises coming along the way as well. And if you don't want a chance, maybe not winning those tickets, make sure to go to bluewaterborderfest.com to get all the information and purchase your tickets in advance. It's going to be a fantastic year, the best year yet for Bluewater Borderfest. And as I said, a pair of tickets we're giving away for Country Night. Be sure to check out the Facebook page immediately after the show ends here. And this is just so you know, we're broadcasting on multiple areas, but you want to go to the Show with David Burrows page for your chance to win those tickets. Wow. Happy Canada Day, everybody. I'm glad I could sit down here in my red shirt and say hello to all of you. And if you're watching live, thank you so much for being here. And if you're not watching live, I appreciate you being here as well. All right. Happy Canada Day, 152 years, everybody. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I'll see you next time right here on the show live. Bye for now.